All right, so now that we have the Mevo connected, I want to make sure that we go over how to connect it to the board. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our iRig2, our unit here, and we're going to plug it in to the Mevo. And we're going to make sure, let's go here, we're going to make sure we're in the microphone mode. We're going to make sure that we are set to iPad. Now you'll notice nothing is happening because over here in our meters, because nothing is plugged into here. So we have our special cable that I've designated here. It's a 1/4-inch cable. We're going to simply plug that into the guitar input. And now whatever is coming out of the mixer will be going through the iRig and going directly in here. It's going to be a great volume sound here. So real quickly, let me just show you something very important about these meters that we're going to do here. These meters here are our audio meters, and they're viewable when you press the microphone. They're also viewable in your preview and program mode. They'll be over here on the right. If you choose to use this mode here, you do not get audio meters. So be careful when you use this that the audio is already set. So I like this, but again, it's just this view. If you want to switch back and forth, you'll need to check the audio here. So let's do this. I'm going to send a signal to the mixer. So real quickly, let me discuss how that signal is being routed. We said that every fader needs to have left and right pushed in and 3 and 4 pushed in. And left and right correspond to these 2 faders, and these are the 3 and 4 faders. Notice they're 1 and 2 are muted, but 3 and 4 are not, and neither are left and right. Okay, so for our church, we're going to leave them at 0, and whenever we have to mix, we're going to move this. So let's go ahead and play a CD track. And I'm going to make sure that my gain is set correctly. So let's review our gain here. I don't remember. I'm going to press PFL. Oop, I get a signal, so that means that these two channels are the ones I'm working with, okay? I'm going to press them both in. Now look at my levels. I want to see that top green one being lit, so I'm going to adjust these, attenuate. Ooh, I got a little bit of yellow. I probably don't want too much yellow. That level is acceptable. All right. I'm going to deep press my PFL buttons here. So now when I go to mix, the people at the church, this is what they're going to hear. They're going to hear that this is up, which is our main speakers, and they're going to hear how these volumes are set. But what about our Mevo? All right. Let's go to our microphone. There is no signal. In order to get a signal to the Mevo, we need to move 3 and 4 up. Now watch what happens when I move 3 and 4 up. Voila, we get a signal that's going to our Mevo, and that's a good signal that we like there. Okay, I've done all my gain staging correctly. Again, let me remind you about this meter. You'll notice that sometimes there's a little tiny line above that kind of hovers, and then you get this solid bar. The solid bar kind of is more of an average of constant volume. The top little floating line shows you what is the loudest peak that we've heard so far, and it kind of floats there. And whenever it gets adjusted higher, it'll show a new line. See, it just kind of stays there. All right. Now watch what happens when I lower the 2 red faders, 3 and 4. We lose volume. That little line stays there for some time and then eventually drops off. One thing I want you to know is make sure that our Mevo is set to 0 dB, which means there's no decreasing of volume and no increasing of the volume. We want this to run this. And the only way we're going to change our volume is by moving channels 3 and 4. So you're going to make sure once you're mixing, one of you is going to be mixing for the church, which means moving these faders how you like them. Just keep an eye on levels of these 2 red meters to make sure that you're getting a quality signal, which means you're hitting in the 75 to 80% of that height. Watch when I push it a little bit harder. Still no clipping, which is great. I like that. I'm not clipping anywhere. But let's push this higher, and then you'll begin to see that red distortion. Distortion does not sound good. It's very unpleasant. It sounds like dropping 100 of plates and hearing a cat scream at the same time. So those are the things you need to be careful of. Sometimes you may need to boost these red levels. Again, if it's speaking and it's not loud enough, it's okay to boost them. It's okay to cut them. But make sure, let me play that CD again. Make sure, as you check the volume here, that you use sliders 3 and 4, the red ones, to make sure that you're in a good zone, okay? And again, that meter is only available in this view over there. If I go to that matrix kind of view, you're not going to get audio signals. So you can use this, but just make sure you switch back and forth time to time to make sure that, oh yeah, I got good signals, no problem. Of course, you can always use that one. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that when you, remember I talked about sliding? You can do a fast pan, right? Now watch this. If I move it over here and I leave my finger there, however long I hold it is a time that it takes to pan. You're going to see it move slowly up there. Okay? So that's the pan where I pan and hold, kind of faster, pan and hold, 3 seconds maybe. I want a nice slow pan. So that's what the panning is. All right.